You are welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cyrus, and this is Tuntum Network. Be kind to subscribe, like, and share if you haven't, and thank you. And in today's episode, I want to bring you to speed with what happened some 3 days ago when the President of Kenya, President Ruto, visited Ghana and signed a few MOUs with the government of Ghana in relation with the AfCFTA and the business community of Ghana. Let's get into it.
Kenya exported $9.5 million worth of goods to Ghana, while Ghana exported $5.4 million worth of goods to Kenya.
So President Ruto of Kenya was here in Accra on 5th April with his entourage and was received by his counterpart, the President of Ghana, on issues bordering on trade and investment between Ghana and Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is one continental personality you should know for the purpose of cross-country trade within Africa, it definitely has to be Wamkele Mene. And unfortunately, this is the first time most people are hearing his name. He is the first and current Secretary General of the African Continent Free Trade Area Secretariat in Ghana. He's a South African, and he's doing a pretty fantastic job so far. This bilateral meeting between Ghana and Kenya was in collaboration with the AfCFTA.
The kind of trade that we want to create under the AfCFTA, inclusive benefits, creating opportunities for smallholder farmers, and in this case, the farmers that exported the tea were smallholder farmers that the government of Kenya organized into cooperatives who now can credibly say that they are contributing to Africa's trade.
Now, hear what the President of Kenya said at his address to the Ghana counterpart, which caught my attention. Let's watch this quickly.
The setup by the AfriExim Bank to provide a payment settlement system for all our traders so that trade in Africa can be carried out in any currency, and there will be a mechanism to make sure that once that trade is over, there will be somebody to provide settlement facility and to ensure that we do not lose because of currency differentials between one currency and another. The AfCFTA agreement is expected to foster industrialization and regional competitiveness through the creation of regional value chains and improved agro-processing and expanded markets for meaningful intra-Africa trade and jobs for the young people especially.
He spoke about free movement and trade within Africa and the security of our continent. Now, all that we expected already, so let's put that aside. Kenya is 55 million and Ghana is 34 million in population. Kenya's GDP is $435 billion, whereas Ghana's is $300 billion. Kenya has one of the most developed tourism sites in the world when it comes to wildlife. As a matter of fact, Kenya last year made more than $2 billion in revenue from tourism alone, according to Kenya's Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. And Ghana was estimated to make about $3.4 billion last year by the end of the dirty December event. Where am I driving at with this? Well, it's time African countries compared notes and learned from not just the success stories of their other African countries' counterparts, but from other success stories from non-African countries. And it's time we turn our focus from off the extraction of our natural resources to nature and the building of structures that can attract investors, coupled with our exotic varieties of our cultures we have here. Keep this figure in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Singapore makes $24 to $26 billion from tourism every year. And everything they have there is man-made. Take that into consideration. Man-made. They didn't have anything until they started building things that attracted the interest of travelers across the world to come there and spend, and they made it visa-free for all countries. Egypt made record high $15 billion of revenue from tourism last year, and Nigeria made about $2.9 billion last year also. This is what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen. We are losing out. If we have all these magnificent landscapes and wildlife and mighty rivers and waterfalls and cultures to exhibit, why aren't we focused on making it attractive for travelers? Why should Africans be dying to travel all the way to Australia for vacations if we have developed our tourist sites? Where are our movies about our tribes and our ancient cities using historic and monumental structures and landscapes and artifacts? Why are we only making peanuts from an industry which has the size of $2 trillion. Singapore is just a few kilometers larger than Nairobi, but has a GDP bigger than the African country with the largest GDP. How can a population of 5.6 million people outthink the population of tens and hundreds of millions of people with resources? How can a people with literally nothing but some coal and iron ore here and there and a sea become the third largest GDP in the world, larger than the entire GDP of all African countries combined? In a country where earthquakes and tsunamis are rampant, yet Japan is still a prosperous and a booming economy, making more than $35 billion in revenue from tourism. How is this possible? Meanwhile, the entire continent of Africa's annual revenue from tourism is just about $50 billion. Do you know the particular group of people who tour Asia the most? It's Asians. Do you know the same for Europe? It's Europeans. So what's up with Africa? Why are we not patronizing and promoting our own resources? The largest number of tourists in China are Chinese. You need to see it for yourself on their national holidays. All hotels and recreational sites and buses and trains and planes will be fully booked by that time. They move a lot within their country and business booms in that period. But down here, we don't travel within our own countries for fear of insecurities. We seldom travel within Africa, but we are quick to spend so much money to go all the way in Europe and other continents. In this bilateral MOU between Ghana and Kenya, what I believe should also be of immense importance in their discussion, apart from the trade and investment, should be about practical tourism packages that will bring airlines and travel agencies to the table. We need to move across the continent seamlessly. It's of no importance to speak in vague terms anymore. We'll need specifics and laid out plans with special offers to facilitate this. There are too many bilateral agreements being signed every day, and we need to see more. Thanks for being a part of today's episode, and be kind to subscribe if you haven't. Until I come your way again, God bless you, and it's bye-bye for now.